Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Happy Friday. Hopefully, you've had a pleasant week and are looking forward to the weekend as summer winds down. And this is going to be an interesting one. It's kind of a combination responding to a challenge and VR. And weirdly, I'm going to tie both of them together. It's going to be interesting. So this is going to be in two parts. I'm going to film them in two different times because the setup is going to be different that is going to be required. But the first, Cole is back. Cole is back, the new channel, Cole Talks Books. And I noticed the other day that he had a 222 challenge out there. So I clicked on it, watched the video, link to that down below, and then make sure to go check it out and say hi to Cole again because it's great to have him back on the YouTubes. But it was a 222, and with his new channel, Cole Talks Books, it's two books that you're really excited to read, two books that you're kind of scared to read, and then two books that have been on the to-read list for a long time. And I figured, you know what? We're going to see an interesting side of Zach in the first part of this video, because the second part will be answering a VR for the GOAT, Brandon Jensen, and you will see once I film that what that's going to be. We're going to start off with the first of the two categories. The first being two books that you're excited to read. And I've got them right here off to the left. They are a high stack, but we will get through it. We will soldier on. But the first one, this is a book I actually won from Daryl Giordano, Mr. 95 Cents, for the Spinach Day Hunt. And I love these series, The Images of Sports, The American League, The Early Years. I'm looking forward to this one. It's been sitting on the shelf. A challenge came out, and I was like, you know what? Now is the perfect time to start getting out there and doing some reading. This one probably won't be a long one, but it's mostly some beautiful photos, and I'm looking forward to it for sure. Number two on that list of the ones I'm excited to read, I'm trying to remember. I think it was this past Christmas. I got this book, I'm pretty sure, from my sister. It's something in the realm of world history that I think they're pretty much starting to figure out. But this is a book that I was looking forward to reading, called Dead Mountain, The Untold True Story of the Dyatlov Pass Incident, which, if you know about it, is a frightening, frightening thing. And this right here also got me a gripping book, at least as dramatic as Krakauer's Into Thin Air, which I have read. John Krakauer's Into Thin Air was a account of the, 1995-1996 Mount Everest disaster. But this one, this tale is quite interesting, and there's just the brief overview. February 5th, 1959, a group of 9 experienced hikers in the Russian Ural Mountains died mysteriously on an elevation known as Dead Mountain. Eerie aspects of the incident, unexplained injuries, signs the hikers cut open and fled their tent without proper clothing or shoes, a strange final photograph taken by one of them, and radiation readings on some of their clothes have led to decades of speculation over what really happened. Stuff like that is very intriguing, like mysteries like that we may or may not ever find the answer to, like the Lost Colony of Roanoke. So, the second category, and those are the two that I'm really excited to read. The ones that I'm kind of scared to read. One of them is kind of a funny reason, and the other is a little more serious reason. We'll start with the humorous one because we are going to end with two more books that have been on the read list for a while, but yet haven't. And the first one is this, The Encyclopedia of Spirits, the ultimate guide to the magic of fairies, genies, demons, ghosts, gods, and goddesses. I like stuff like this, like random, encyclopedias, guidebooks, things like that. Reason I'm afraid to start reading that is not because of the length of the book. Actually, how long is said book? It's well over 1,000. Yeah, well over 1,000 pages, about 1,100 pages. But the wormholes that it is going to open up for me to start going down as I start reading about various ghosts, demons, goblins, what have you. So that, it's been there a while, and I've kind of been balking at it. And the same with this one, albeit for a more serious reason, just because of the subject matter. And again, I'm a history guy, and it is this Shake Hands with the Devil by Lieutenant General Romeo Dallaire. during the Rwanda genocide in 1993, and essentially the subsequent failure of the UN troops and everything. It's a very, very, very serious subject matter, and I think it's one of those you kind of have to be in a specific mindset and a specific mood to read. But also because, I know pretty, a good amount about what General Dallaire is going to be talking about. Not exactly uplifting reading, unfortunately, as it were. But that is why on, the History by Mail and all the history stuff, this is why it is very important to learn about it. We have to know about it. And the final part of the challenge, and this is one that honestly even surprises me, that I have had these two books, these two particular books I've had in my possession for a good amount of time, but also the fact that I've just never read these. And these two are on the to be read list, for a while. The first being Don Quixote by Miguel de Cervantes. I have never read this book. And it's weird. There are certain stories that we all know, and we may or may not have read the book. And that, for me, is a lot of the classics. Like, who weirdly haven't I read a whole lot of, and not just the one that's sitting off camera? Well, I've never read Don Quixote. I haven't read much Hemingway, but yet a lot of the stories. It's very odd, and this is another one of those. I know the story very well. I've seen many film adaptations of it, but yet I have never read the book, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, by Victor. Is it pronounced Hugo, or would it be Victor Hugo? I'm not sure how that would actually be pronounced, but either way, it's a book I've never read, which is, like I say, I find quite surprising. Although, granted, it took me until about 10 years ago to read, to finally actually sit down and read Lord of the Flies, because we didn't read it in high school. That is my little answer to Cole's 222 challenge. Some interesting books, and it's good to go back through the books, and a lot of stuff I got to start reading. So thank you for joining for this part of it. I'm going to reset, move stuff around, and get ready to do the second part, the VR, and massive shout out to the GOAT, Brandon Jensen. But again, link to Cole, link to that video will be down in the description. Check him out, and I'll see you in just a minute. Hello, and welcome back to part 2, and this is the tie-in. You know that I've done autographs for a long time, and apologies for that, but we're just freehanding this first part of this. I thought I would show off, basically, the signed books PC that I have. Now, a lot of these were either purchased, probably I would say the majority of them were purchased up to this point signed. However, there were quite a few that I wrote to the author, or I actually met the author, or had somebody meet the author and get it. So, just a little quick tour of it. I'm kind of making sure that I don't look down, or that I do look down and don't trip over something as I go. But then I'm going to pull out a couple that I really like. So, and then we'll go from there, back upstairs, and we will finish it off. So, see you in just a minute. Okay, and we are back upstairs. I brought a few of these signed books off of the various stacks, a couple of them that, I'd forgotten I had, and sometimes it's nice just to sit and take a look at them. And a few little minor stories as I just show off a couple of them. First one I want to start off with, and this is one of my dad's favorite things. This is The Last Christmas Show by Bob Hope. And I bought this one, and you can still, to this day, get some, and you can see right there, a lot of really affordable signed Bob Hope merchandise. I think this book, even getting it a few years ago, I think it was right around $12, because the man was such a prolific signer that there are just tons and tons of his signed items, even to this day, still out there. And then, like I said, when I was downstairs at the actual bookshelves, a good portion of these I've purchased, but some of them I wrote to the author, and here's one, for example. This is Consilience, the Unity of Knowledge by Edward O. Wilson. E.O. Wilson, one of the world's most leading experts on ants. A lot of his books have been out of print for a long time and are very, very, very expensive, and even more so expensive are his signed items. I know years ago I was looking and I saw one of his signed textbooks for like $500-$600. So at that point, I discovered he was still on staff. So I simply wrote to him and I sent him a book plate, and he signed the book plate. This book I picked up rather cheap, and because I wanted to get a copy of the textbook he did, The Ants, but like I say, it's been out of print for so very long. It is good luck finding it. Number 3, and I pulled 10. So number 3, this is a shout out again to my dad, but also to Pittsburgh. This is Stupak on Craps by Bob Stupak. I bought this one. He is from Pittsburgh, has since passed on, but from Pittsburgh, the inventor of crapless craps and the driving force behind the Stratosphere in Las Vegas. Another one I wrote to, Clive Cussler. He has also since passed, but the author of Sahara, among other things, the Dirk Pitt series. I really liked the series, and so I decided to write to him. And you can see right in there, he did sign it for me, and actually he wrote me a note that went along with it that I should have pulled out, but I didn't. And actually, speaking of that, this is another one that did that. This is a copy of the Da Vinci Code that I sent a book plate to. Actually, where is it? I can never remember where I put them. Sent it to Dan Brown. And he also wrote me a nice letter that again, when I steal from 3 Good Nerds, which I'm 100% going to, I'm going to be displaying some of the additional things that the people sent me. Now this one, when I saw it came up, it was one of those that I simply had to get. It is a Billy Idol's autobiography, Dancing with Myself, and where was it? And yeah, there's the COA. And yeah, I had to get me a signed Billy Idol autobiography just because I'm a big fan. And then these two couldn't pass up. Could not pass up just because of the subject matter. We've got Wilt Chamberlain, A View from Above. I purchased that one signed, and that is right there, Peace, Wilt Chamberlain. And the thing about some of these books is a lot of times they might be coming from, estates or storage units that have been foreclosed on. So some of them might be personalized, and that was never a problem for me because the fact is it's still a signed thing, and especially when it came to somebody like Bill Russell, just because the man simply did not sign a whole lot. So when I saw this several years ago, and it was reasonably priced, like, because you see there, to Nina and Ed, best wishes, Bill Russell, but it was reasonably priced, and I'm like, that's going to be probably the only opportunity I'm ever going to have to lay my hands on a Bill Russell autograph, so could not pass that up. And the final two, you know what, I'm going to do this one last because this was an in-person one, but this was another purchase one, and I do in fact have a huge thing for leather-bound books, and this is who I can never remember who the publisher is. I think it's Easton Press. They do a lot of signed stuff, and this is hold on, we can't get it. Yeah, there we go. View from the Summit by Sir Edmund Hillary, and you can see there's all the things in there, and Easton House is really, really reputable, and they do some really good things. Signed by Edmund Hillary, but signed as Ed Hillary. That, plus just the book itself is beautiful. You've got the gilded edges, which, by the way, hurt. Gilded edges paper cuts don't heal ever, especially not as fast as regular paper cuts. And the last one I wanted to show off is It's a football-related thing, and I keep it in the bag because, one, the cover is falling. Well, actually, I taped the cover down pretty well, but also because it has the ticket stubs from the event. This is Fatso, the autobiography of Art Donovan, the first member of the Colts organization inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I met him years ago, and here's the ticket stubs from the event. The Indian Creek School, they were raffling off a 1967 Corvette convertible. 4,000 tickets sold, will be drawn March 14th, 1999 by NFL Hall of Famer Art Donovan. Pittsburgh isn't that far from Baltimore, so my dad and I drove down, and he was also the Grand Marshal of the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Baltimore that year, and then I met him at the event, and I got him to sign... If I can remember where, there it is. I got him to sign a copy of his autobiography, and at the same time also zing me, because my dad, and here we'll just put this guy up on the screen as reference, and you can see his jersey back there, number 70. My dad said, my son wears the same jersey number as you do, and in high school that was true. I was number 70. This man, this NFL legend, looked me square in the eye. Said, Jesus Christ, you look as slow as I was. If you've never seen Art Donovan, you can see it right there. Google Art, or go to YouTube, Art Donovan, David Letterman. He is hilarious. But that is my little, slightly hidden PC shout out to the GOAT, Brandon Jensen. Huge congrats to you also on the surpassing of the 500 subs. I've seen a lot of these PC VR videos for you that have been going out, and I have been enjoying them. So I wanted to throw my hat in the ring. Hopefully I did well. Hopefully you guys liked it. Let me know what you thought down below. And yes, another weird window into the strange world that is all things Zach. So that's going to do it. Hope you have a great rest of your Friday and have a great weekend. Once again, shout out to Cole Talks Books, and Brandon Jensen, a.k.a. The GOAT, Brandon Jensen Top Loaded. Links to them will be down below, and I cannot wait to see more of these. So thank you so much. We will see you next time.